So there's this booming niche on YouTube, 3D faceless documentaries. The audience is massive, but hardly anyone's creating them. Why? Because at first glance they seem too hard to make and way too expensive. But that's exactly why the space isn't saturated, and it's how a few creators became millionaires without ever showing their faces in this niche. But what if I told you that I was able to replicate these videos that are probably making $100,000 per month? Listen, my strategy is divided into a few simple sections. First, I'll show you how to find a viral topic. Then I'll show you how I craft scripts that keep viewers engaged in this niche. After that, you'll see the fastest way to create these animations, plus a few common editing mistakes that kills your retention and how to avoid them. And finally, as a bonus, I'll show you the end result. Picking a good topic is crucial if you want your video to go viral. That might sound like an exaggeration, but in a moment I'll show you exactly why I believe it. First, let's break down what actually makes a topic good. I don't know if you ever noticed, but the best topics almost always have one or more of these three ingredients. The first is high curiosity factor, and it makes people ask, wait, what happens next? The second is proven demand. That means there's already an audience hungry for it, usually based on current trends. And the third one is emotional hook. It triggers a strong emotion like surprise, fear, anger, or sadness. If we take a closer look at this creator's channel, we can clearly see how his topics follow this formula. The video mapping the Trump shooting was uploaded just days after the incident, and it taps into the proven demand section because this was a trending event at that time with massive public interest. Now, the second video, the kids who hacked the CAI. It has a strong curiosity factor and it instantly makes you wonder, wait, what happened after they hacked the CAI? And the third one, a new ocean is forming in Africa. This video hits with an emotional hook sparking both surprise and curiosity because it sounds like something out of science fiction, but it's real. Now here's why everything here I explained really matters a lot. One of the guys inside my private school community came to me stuck. His long form videos were barely cracking 100 to 1000 views, so I gave him a specific advice on how to rework his topics. And the very next video he posted tripled his views in just 4 days, and it's still climbing. And honestly, that's just one example. Inside the community, members are getting access to an absurd amount of value. Full 8-hour courses, videos where I start channels from scratch and show how exactly I monetize them, group calls, templates, preset packs, untapped niches, and even personal one-on-one help. You literally get everything you need to start and grow a profitable faceless channel. I've launched this community not long ago, but it's already helping people monetize and earn a full-time income. So if you're serious about this, the link is in the description. So I tried to find a story that fit at least one of these formulas, and I came across something interesting. A story about an officer who released a prisoner because she fell in love with him. The story has a lot of strong title variations that align with the formula, so I decided to go with it. Now we've come to the part which in my opinion is the hardest to master. Luckily, we can make the process easier with the help of a few AI tools. Here's how I did it. I used a tool called TubeMagic to generate our script. It has some cool features like letting you choose the length of the script or even providing context. You can paste a YouTube link and it will analyze the video and generate a similar script. I selected one of FERN's videos, uploaded it, and generated a draft. And no, we don't have a finalized script yet. We won't just copy and paste. We do have a solid base that just needs some adjustments and polishing to turn it into a masterpiece. So if you would like to try TubeMagic yourself, click the link in the description. And for the voiceover I used 11 labs. And with voiceover ready, it was time to move on to creating animations. And to create these animations, honestly, there are a lot of tools and ways, but if you'll mess up just one thing, you can end up with something like this. So let me show you the correct way to generate them. We first need to generate images in the right style. To do that, I'll use ChatGPT. And honestly, I experimented with a few different prompts to get the best result, and this one came the closest to what I wanted. As you can see in the describe the subject and post section, you should write exactly what you want to generate. For example, here you can see I wrote a pretty detailed sentence to describe the prisoner. And I did that to get the best possible result. So I used the same approach for all other images images I needed, and the current results are pretty good, but we are not done yet. After downloading all the images, the next step is to find the best image to video generation tool. And I tried a lot of them, and one that gave me the best results was Kling AI. But keep in mind, none of these tools will give you good results if you don't write a solid prompt. To recreate the same character's moving style like in FERN's video, in the prompt section I wrote to add subtle movement. And personally I like to add one more thing to feel the animation more alive. I want the camera to move too. So in the most of my clips I ask for a slight zoom in or even a drone orbit shot, especially when the view is from above like in this example. And yeah, that's it, we are done with animations. But if you want to make a good video, we are not done yet. If you want your video to feel heartless and robotic, yes, you can leave the video. Goodbye to you. But if you want to stand out from your competitors, then congratulations, because I'll share how to do it right and fix the biggest mistakes that are killing your videos. So I'm using Adobe Premiere, but you can use whatever editing software you like. So first, let's drop in our voiceover. And take in mind that this isn't a fast-paced short, so I'm not cutting out every single silent moment and even leaving a bit of silence in the voiceover on purpose, because it isn't a flaw here, it's a feature. Pausing gives people time to process what you just said. If you keep talking non-stop, there's no room for your words to land, so you should add these pauses in some places of your video, but don't overdo it. Now I added all the clips I generated, but that alone isn't enough. If the entire video was just animations, it would start to feel repetitive and you'd lose the viewer's interest pretty early. That's why you need to mix in real-life photos or footage to keep things fresh and add proof that the story is real. And yeah, this is where I also messed up a bit. After a bit digging, I found some real-life footage, and that's when I realized that the woman in the video actually had blonde hair. So yeah, lesson learned, always do some research before generating your images. But now I want to share a very useful AI tool with you. You see, I wanted to add a map animation to show the location, and to create these from scratch it takes hours, and nobody wants to spend that much. So I found a tool called Hera app. They're not sponsoring me, this is just a tool that I genuinely found interesting. And this app can do the map animations or any sort of motion graphics with just templates and a few prompts. But if you want an even easier way, just go to Canva and search for a map in the location you want. Once I put all the clips in place, it was time for a very important part that either makes your video stand out and feel alive or stay robotic. It's sound design. You must be very careful here. One too loud sound effect or unmatched soundtrack and you lose your viewer. So here's how I do it. I used a few suspenseful soundtracks from Epidemic Sound and added sound effects. This is super important. Risers, hits, and all of those little sound effects helps to make the emotion stronger and the video more alive. But here's where many people mess up. They make them too loud. So here's a quick trick to make sure that your sound design isn't too loud. You should keep your background music between -20 and -30 decibels. And your sound effects should usually be around -10 to -15. I added a few more transitions, some overlays to make the video even more alive, and the video was finally done. Before showing the final result, I would like to ask you to subscribe and like this video if it was helpful. Thanks for that, and here's the final result.
Just before 10 a.m. on April 29th, 2022, in Florence, Alabama, the unthinkable happened. A corrections lieutenant named Vicky White escorted inmate Casey White out of jail for what she called a mental health evaluation that didn't exist. Casey White wasn't your average inmate, towering at 6 feet 9 inches, heavily tattooed with a violent criminal past, including armed robbery, attempted murder, and awaiting trial for capital murder. He expected life behind bars. And Vicky, a 56-year-old veteran officer, assistant director at Lauderdale County Jail, set to retire that very day after 17 years of service and repeatedly named Employee of the Year.